I think you're amazing.
You are too, Henry.
Thank you so much. Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate you what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, if you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you, or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you. I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank you.
God bless you too. Thank you for having us.
Welcome to the Brother Henry and You Show. I am your host, Henry Harris. It's such a delight and honor to have a special guest with us today. His name is Dr. Larry Reid. When I think of Dr. Larry Reid, I think of someone who is influential, intelligent, a profound man who I admire. Larry is a multi-media personality. He's the founder of the MBN network. He's also a spiritual leader, prophet, recording artist, host of Larry Reid Live, and so much more. Today, we're here to talk to him about Azusa, the life celebration of Bishop Carlton Pearson, which he is sponsoring and putting on. And Dr. Larry Reid, thank you so much for being on the show today.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for being interested in my friend, Bishop Carlton.
That's amazing. So I would like to start out with, it's called Azusa, the life celebration with Bishop Carlton Pearson. Can you give us just a little brief history of how y'all met? How did y'all connect with each other? And then we'll start talking about the event that's coming up this weekend.
Well, we met in 2018. It was the same time that I met my mentor. It was within weeks of it. I met my mentor, who's now my mentor, but at the time it was just someone that I was talking about on my show concerning a story who I had seen on TV. And one of the first things that he did, strangely enough, looking back now, was introduce me to his friend of 40 plus years, which was Bishop Pearson. And we journeyed from Atlanta to Greensboro, North Carolina to meet him. And we actually have that picture of the day we met. My assistant was standing right by me, and we met. He said something funny. I said something funny. We all laughed, and the picture was taken. And that was the beginning of a gift that God was giving me that I didn't discern at the time all of what it was. I just saw it as someone who we all had loved and looked up to, who has sort of been off the scene for a few decades. And what I felt from him was love. And it caused me to respond to him in love. So I wanted to be a part of that hand of God in his life to heal him and to let him know how holy and worthy and exceptional he was. And we were able to do that over the last 5 years of his life, over and over and over and over again.
The name of the event is called Azusa, the life celebration of Bishop Carlton Pearson. What inspired you to create this event? It's done with such excellence. You have guests coming. We'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. What motivated you? What inspired you to want to put on such? It's not just any event. This is a real big deal for Bishop Carlton Pearson.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was just something that grabbed me. I was looking for it. It grabbed me, and I just was a yes. When he passed, we were all in grief. I've only known him 5 years intimately, although I've known him for years. So we were just in grief, but in the midst of the planning for all of the celebrations that was happening, I was just giving my commentary on all of the different celebrations that was happening concerning him. And one of the shows that I had done, I was talking about how this celebration is going on, but I was concerned because it wasn't what he told me he wanted. And so to sort of put it out there where people would know what he said he wanted, I clipped it and I put it on my platform. Actually, I was more so thinking that, oh, they did not know what he wanted. And then I soon realized that they just could not accommodate his wishes under the circumstances in Tulsa, which is fine. Because if they had done it, we wouldn't be having this grand celebration. I feel like this celebration, number one, is exactly what he said on his bed of transition he wanted. And it is also being done in Atlanta, which is like a hub for so many different industries that he impacted, not just the church. Some years ago, he impacted film and TV through Netflix. And a lot of people came into the knowledge of the message of Bishop Carlton Pearson, which was love-based. And that really changed a lot of people's life. So Atlanta's a great place for A to Z, which is the first two letters in Azusa. Bishop Pearson's ministry took us literally in our faith from A all the way to Z in the USA. So I wanted Azusa to be in that because that's where he began. And we also are going to celebrate the last 20 years of his ministry, particularly that he did in the city of Atlanta in like 4 or 5 different churches. He was here every single month.
So what are some of your expectations of this event? Like when people come, what would you like to see them, what would the takeaway be as it relates to Bishop Pearson?
Well, I think that what is going to happen is that people are going to realize the magnitude of his contribution spiritually, not just the songs, the sermons, and the things that he has done that we have all listened to, but how it literally is attached to who we are in our soul. We've listened to him in his ministry, even if it's just through music, for so many years, and that has been placed in the deepest part of our soul. What I want to do is to recreate that old feel, how church used to feel, and that energy that you would get when people will praise and they will worship and it will be passionate and intimate. I want to recreate that. That's why we have Pastor Shirley Ceaser coming in, who has been around for many years, who knows that type of movement. She's going to come and sing Sweeping Through the City with the choir, as she did on Carlton's Azusa, I think, #2. We also have the choir singing other songs that were sung at Azusa. One is called Take It By Force. It was originally led by Karen Clark Sheard, but we have Nikita Fox coming in, who's going to be leading the choir in Take It By Force. Also during that time, back there in old school, there was a song that was very popular called Perfect Peace. I will keep you in perfect peace. So we have Lucinda Moore coming to lead that. Then Be Grateful, Andrea Johnson going to be leading that. There's a song on Azusa called He Lives that Beverly Crawford led. She's coming in and she's leading that. Of course, John P. Key was on one of his Azusas. He's coming in and he's doing his songs there. So it's going to be very musical, but in between that, we're going to be hearing from people who have walked with Carlton that know him intimately, especially the last 20 years of his ministry. And one person he requested that he wanted to speak at his celebration was Bishop Yvette Flunder. And she's also very popular and known, but most people just know her voice from the song Thank You, Lord, for All You've Done for Me with Walter Hawkins. She's the lead vocalist on that. And so she's going to be singing that as well as having words and speaking. So I expect people to leave impacted and remembering the glory days of the church. And hopefully they will take that energy and that spirit, feast off of it, and begin to create something in their life that can contribute to the community in a good way.
That's awesome. And if I understand correctly, registration is now closed. So how can people connect? How can people engage with this event?
Yeah, you can still engage, because I have a community that is exclusive, and that's really that community that's paying for this six-figure event. They immediately, when I said I was going to do it, started donating tens of thousands of dollars to make sure that we're able to do it in an excellent way and in a great location. And so I want everybody that want to be there to make a decision to come over in that community. And when you come in there, it's $12. That $12 donation is going to go towards the life celebration. And you don't have to stay in there after the 18th. You can cancel. Make sure you cancel, because if you don't, then that platform is going to charge you on the first of every month the $12. But everyone can come to Patreon, patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. And when you sign up with your email address, turn your notifications on, download the app. And every time I post in there, you'll get a notification just like you do for everything else. And you'll see that notification on the 18th that will give you a direct link into this great celebration.
Larry, thank you so much for being on the show today. And thank you for putting this event together. I believe Bishop Carlton Pearson is smiling on you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you too, sir. And I hope you have an amazing night.
You too.
Well, Perry, you are awesome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I appreciate what you're doing too, buddy.
Well, thank you. Because if you allow the world to define you, if you allow friends to define you, if you allow your spouse to define you, or anybody to define you outside of how God sees you, that does open the door to rejection. God bless you. And I hope y'all have an amazing day.
Thank you, Brother Henry.
Thank you.
God bless you too. Thank you for having us.